I don't know. Oh, it says recording. Okay, we're recording. Okay. All right, you have, no, I cannot zoom in because I'm on my Zoom, so no, I can't zoom in. Okay. If you can't see it, you can get on my Zoom on daily directions. If you want to see better, closer, you can get on daily directions Zoom. Julie's like, yes, I'm for that. Okay. All right, so you guys have had a little bit of time, plenty of time, even hopefully maybe to know. It's a different one. Okay, it's a different one. So I will give you a few minutes because I logged back in again. I guess it changed the problems. Okay. You would be able to recommend. You are welcome to join this Zoom and see it up close and personal in front of your face. Okay. I'm like, I literally you know, quit. Turn it off. Okay. So you will be able, I'm just screen sharing on my computer, so you can see it at least on your screen sharing. Okay. So if you want to see it up close, just get on the Zoom. Okay, mask back on, fellas. Lander, mask back on, guys. Okay. I hate wearing it too. Okay. Are you guys ready for this one? Okay. What? Okay. Okay, I'll give you a minute. Well. You're gonna have plenty of time to look this over. Please mute yourself. You need to mute her, it's gonna echo. You have one more minute to discuss with your elbow partner before I have you guys come up. You can even talk about it up here. You're gonna need to talk about it so you can tell us how you chose the ones you did. Mm-hmm. All right, let's have, and let's come up and touch my iPad here. Nick and Banks. Oh, sorry.
So, hey, listen up. So, scatter plot A is negative. So, and it is the strongest line. So, it is negative 92. Okay.
Scatter plot B is also negative, and the only other negative choice here is negative 4,800. So
Boom.
boom.
Scatter plot C is positive.
And it's also second strongest line.
It is strong.
You just think.
And then B
And then D,
is B.
it's already figured out.
Do y'all agree with those? Did you get it right? All right, I got that right. Good job. We got a green dot down at the bottom. All right, next question. Match the correlation coefficients with the scatter plots. Okay. I'll give you about 2 minutes to discuss with your elbow partner. And then you guys are going to come up. Banks and Nick did a fine job. I like how y'all took turns there. Okay. Do you and your elbow partner agree? It doesn't matter, like now you play audio. So, I mean, yeah, they didn't. Okay, not worry about it. All right, 30 seconds. We need another green dot here at the bottom. I get a green dot. We're on 2 of the 4. We only got 4 of these to do. Well, 16 if you're thinking of 4 in each one. Okay, let's have. Okay. Zane and Andrew. Hi there.
So, you notice there are 2 negatives and 2 positives, right? No? Who said no? Whoever said no, they need to learn.
Make them feel good about being up front.
So, if you notice, this negative is pretty strong. So, you would think, yeah, it would be 94, but that one doesn't have a negative. So, it's negative 0.79.
All right.
Now, scatter plot B is positive. So it goes that way. But it's weaker than that one. And that one's positive. So that would be 0.65. Now that one is negative and it's weaker than that one. So it'd be negative 0.38. And then that one's very strong, so it'd be 0.94.
Good job. Did you get it right? Awesome. Yeah, next question. Good job. All right, here's the next one. All right, so with your elbow partner, discuss it. You can even put it on the whiteboard and bring the whiteboard up if you don't want to miss it. All right, seems like you guys have your answers, so let's have Scarlett and Amelia come up. No. Hey, ladies, respectful, please.
Okay, so for scatter plot A, I said 0.85 because the little dots are really close together and they're going in a positive line, which means it's positive, and 0.85 is really close to 1. So it would be scatter plot A 0.85. For scatter plot B, it's not really a line, like there's no. Oops, okay, anyway, so B would be, and it's a positive. So it would be 0.39. Okay, and so I can't see it. Okay, so C, I said negative 0.92 because that is very close to -1, and C is a negative line, and the dots are very close together, and that's, yeah. So you can put, no, you have to do D. It's already there. Well, D is the only one left. Oh. Okay. Stop. We already did it. Oh.
All right, this is the fourth and final one. Get it right. So we can move on to calculating these on the calculator. All right, this is the fourth one. This doesn't work. But it's not really. And it doesn't record automatically. All right, 30 seconds. It looks like I'm looking around and y'all are either finished. All right. Last but not least, Gabe and Bora. Okay.
All right, so scatter plot A is obviously a negative and it's stronger, so it's negative, negative 9. I can't talk, negative 0.9. And then scatter plot B is a positive and it's stronger, so it'd be 0.89. Scatter plot C is not strong at all and it's a negative, but for some reason it says it's kind of strong, so it's negative 0.76. Scatter plot D is a positive but not very strong, so it's 0.55.
Awesome. Y'all are welcome to stay on the Zoom if that helps you see better, especially those of you on the far side of the room. Now I want you to get out your book of algebra notes, those tables that you glued in yesterday. Don't let anyone ever go to the web. Sometimes, even when it runs empty, say, oh, I gotta keep that from the sailor. Otherwise, my iPad handle will like fall like this the whole time. Okay. So stop screen share. Sorry if I'm making y'all dizzy there for a minute. Okay. So this is what we did yesterday. You should have this glued in on page 1 of correlation coefficients. And then the game we played, the guessing game, on page 2. And then page 3 were these tables I gave you. If you do not have those tables glued in, I have some extra copies. Just raise your hand. You don't need the headphones on. Because I'm talking, it's muted. Jordan, you need another one? Can you find one on my stand? The 3 tables there and the midst of all the papers. Okay, so yesterday we estimated correlation coefficients. And remember, these are all leading up to actually calculating this line of best fit. Okay, we're going to be calculating this line of best fit. Okay, right now we're just focused on the correlation coefficient that tells me how strong the scatter plot is to that line. Okay, so yesterday we estimated, y'all passed that. Okay, today we are actually going to calculate, okay, the exact correlation coefficient using our graphing calculators. Okay, on the calculator. Okay, that's your goal today. It's a lot of steps. So you're going to write these steps down on this sheet with these tables. Okay. All right. I cannot zoom in, so if you can't see this, get on the Zoom. All right. So these are scatter plots. Okay, all 3 of these are scatter plots. The points are just not plotted on graphs. Okay, and the notes say run it's what's called it's called a linear regression. Okay, in the calculator. We're gonna run, I'm gonna give you the steps to run a linear regression that is going to calculate the exact correlation coefficient for each 3 of these data sets. So we're gonna do this 3 separate times. And then I'm gonna leave you to try it on your own. Okay. Does everyone have a good working graphing calculator? Okay. I'm gonna have to remind myself, okay, how to do this. So here are this, go down because what we're gonna do this. We're gonna do R equals, R equals, R equals, okay? we're gonna find it for each one. So go down beneath this and we're gonna write the steps. Okay. Make sure you got enough space there. There's like 10 steps. So make sure you got some space. Okay. Graphing calculator on. You might want to just watch me do it this time. Maybe watch me and then follow along because I want you to make sure you're writing these steps down. So the first thing you're going to do, we got to input the data. First, we got to put these numbers in the calculator. And the way you do that is the stat button. Stat, because this is statistics. So we hit stat, write that down. First thing you hit is stat. Step 1, stat. Then you hit the edit button, the one that says edit, ... Okay, then you're gonna hit edit. All right, and then you're gonna see L1 and L2. Okay, L1 and L2. Does anyone think they know what the L stands for? A line. Okay, I didn't even think about that. I was thinking list. Maybe it's a line. Okay, if there are numbers already there, you have to arrow up to the L2 and you would hit clear. Okay, to clear that out and hit enter. Okay, if I've got numbers there, I'm going to arrow because you're going to input the numbers here. If there's numbers there and you want to clear it real quick, go up to it, hit clear, enter. That clears data. Okay, so maybe out here you put to clear data, go to L1, hit clear, then enter. Okay, because when you're working on this on your own, you're gonna be like, crap, I don't remember how to do that. I don't remember how to clear the data out. Okay, if you have numbers there and you want to clear it out, go up and hover over the L1, the L2, the L3. You only want to have the L1 and the L2 there. Okay. Figured it works. That's a little bit better. All right, so then I'm gonna clear the data. Now we're gonna input this L1 and L2. So after you hit stat edit, if your lists are cleared, now we're gonna input the data for L1, which is your X values. So your L1 is gonna be your X values and your L2 is gonna be your Y values, okay? So I'm gonna type in all of these numbers here. This is gonna be my list 1, L1, and then my L2. Okay, so give me a minute. Let me type these in. 36. You got to be very, meticulous. You got to be very detailed, very careful to type these numbers in correctly. So I got 36, 45, 26, 18, 25, 31, 22. All right. Once I have those in, I'm going to arrow to the other one. 115. Oh, and you just hit the number, hit enter, the number, hit enter, the number, hit enter. Okay. You should have the same amount of numbers on the left side as you do on the right side. Okay. You want to get those typed in? Type it in, hit enter, and the number, hit enter, and the number, hit enter. Okay, you'll have those in? Yeah. Okay, after you hit L1 and L2, and you've got the data, okay? Then we go back and we hit the stat button. You don't have to clear it out, not done nothing. From there, then you hit stat again. Okay. Then you want to arrow over to the calc option. Okay, so I put a little arrow. You want to arrow over to the calc. See, we were in edit. We were editing the lists. and then we arrow over to calc, and this is where we can calculate a bunch of cool, awesome things. Okay. You are going to choose number 4 that says len reg, and then it says ax plus b. Your calculator doesn't like to use mx plus b, it likes to use ax plus b, but that is the same thing as mx plus b. Okay, so it's going to run a linear regression because I told you these are linear scatter plots. Otherwise, if it was quadratic, you could run a quadratic regression. You could run a cubic regression. Okay, depending on what the scatter plot looks like. I'm telling you they're linear, so we're going to run a linear regression, and then you hit enter. And then you got to hit enter twice. Okay, look at all that awesome stuff that pops up. Okay. What is the correlation coefficient? 0.7. What does it say? R equals 0.705. If you don't have an R, I need to come fix your calculator. Okay, well, let me just do this real quick then for everybody. Okay, if you're looking at, you should have cows.
Oh, I see.
Okay, if you're looking at this, so let me put mine over here to the side. If you're looking at this and you don't have the R's, everyone's gonna do this at one time, so I don't have to do it 5 separate times, okay? Push the blue button. If you don't have the R, push blue, and then push 0 down here. It's gonna pull up a catalog. Pull up your catalog. Okay, then I want you to scroll all the way down. There's a faster way, but just scroll all the way down until you see diagnostic. Go to, can we just do this, guys? Okay, go to diagnostic on. Hit enter for diagnostic on. Yes, turn the diagnostic on and it will say done. That's gonna, and then calculate the linear regression again. Okay, then calculate the linear regression again. Linear So once you do that, and you run the linear regression again, and I'll try to run it again, you should have a correlation coefficient. It tells you y equals ax plus b. That is the linear function, y equals mx plus b. Okay. It tells you the slope. It tells you the y-intercept. It tells you r squared, and it tells you what r is. Don't worry about r squared. Okay. And then r. Okay, R is the correlation coefficient, so you should have a correlation coefficient of 0.705. Y'all get that on your calculator? Who's saying no? I can't tell y'all from your masks. Cool. Let me see on those calculators. Now, 0.705. Let's move on to list number or scatter plot number 2. Okay, it's the same instructions. Okay, so what am I going to push first? Stat. Then what? Edit. So I'm going to hit enter edit. Uh-oh, there's data already there. What do I do? Go up to L2, hit clear, enter. Go over to L1, hit clear, enter. fresh slate. Then I'm gonna type these numbers in. 3, 7, 8, 8, 9. Okay, check and make sure you do have the equal amounts of X's and Y's put in. Oh, just to make sure we're clear again, this is your L1, the age, and then L2 is the time. All right, once I have my data in, my lists in, what do I hit now? Stat, and then arrow over to calc. It's the second column of stuff. So arrow over to the calc, and I'm going to run a number 4, a linear regression. Nothing popped up. You have to hit enter again. You have to enter twice. Okay. What is the correlation coefficient?
0.618.
There you go. 0.619, right? Because I'm rounding to nearest thousand. Okay. Is this scatter plot closer to a line or further away from number 1? It's further away, a little bit more spaced out because this is 0.6 and that's 0.7. So this one, if I were to graph it, it would be a little bit more spread out on the scatter plot. Aren't these calculators awesome?
No.
This is a lot of steps, I know. Let's do this last one here. L1, L2, I gave you some decimals just to make sure you're being careful when you put these in. Okay. Anytime you're on a screen and you can't, like, this will clear, but if it won't clear, it won't get you back to just a blank screen. There's this quit button right here. This quit button is your best friend when you're in something and you want to get out. Just say, take me back to the blank screen. You hit second quit, no matter what you're, well, I can clear that out. But if you're in something and you're hitting clear and it's not clearing it out, hit second and then quit. It'll take you back to this screen every time. Okay. What's not working? I know you can hit clear twice. Hit clear. If you're in something and like clear won't work, hit second quit. All right, so input these lists now. So I'm gonna go to stat, edit, clear my lists. What am I doing? Raise your hand if you already done the third one. All right. If you've already done the third one. Yes. It's looking like it's 0.846. Yeah. Is that right? Let me run it here. Stat. Now I got to go over to calc. Run a linear regression. You're right. 0.846. Good job, guys. Oh, so which one? This one's even stronger to resembling a line, right? This is the strongest to resembling a line. Then we get a little bit more spaced out on number 1 and even more spaced out on number 2. Spread out, more spread out. Okay. What I want you to work on now is IXL. K11. You're going to have your calculator. You're going to have your calculator. Let me make sure that is the right one before you stop that recording. Yes, it is calculating correlation coefficients with technology. So you will need to have these steps and your graphing calculator. That is what you're working on.